This is Hayden from S8CTV. Today I'm very lucky to be joined here in Glasgow, but for the first time by Lee McGregor. Lee, how are you doing today?
Yeah, we're all good, thanks.
It's good to hear. So obviously, we're here in Glasgow, got a massive fight against Nathaniel Collins, massive Josh Taylor undercard. Before we get to that though, I want to talk about your fight in Saudi against Isaac Lowe. Brilliant performance, brilliant 10 rounds. How did you sort of evaluate your performance on the night there?
I thought it was a great occasion, great event, massive stage. First time I've been on that stage for a long time, and dealt with it well, won well, and we're back and we're getting ready to be part of another amazing card.
What did you sort of learn, fighting in Saudi Arabia, being around some of the biggest names in boxing, as well as that, putting on a brilliant performance?
Just learned that it's just how to manage my energy, I should say. I didn't let the occasion get to me. I could have easily been a bit worked up and get myself carried away with all the people I was around and getting excited and, like I say, using up energy that I needed to save for the fight. So I managed it well, and I saved it all for the fight. And again, it was a massive experience for myself, because there was a lot of media, there was a lot of stuff that we needed to do that isn't ideal leading up to a big fight, but needs to be done. So it's another box ticked when it comes to experience.
Definitely. So obviously, back into a big fight, straight back into a big fight against Nathaniel Collins, only a few months later. How did this fight sort of all come about?
Yeah, so obviously we knew that there was rumours of Josh Taylor coming back to the Hydro Scotland with Queensberry. Obviously my last fight was beating Isaac Lowe, which then gave Queensberry the option on me for the next few fights. So my fight was always going to be on a Queensberry card, and it's obviously made sense that if it's coming to Scotland, Glasgow with Josh Taylor, they also have Nathaniel Collins, an all-Scottish class against Nathaniel. It's a no-brainer.
As you say, an all-Scottish classic, Edinburgh versus Glasgow, brilliant 50-50 fight. How much do you sort of know Nathaniel, and what sort of fight are you kind of expecting going into this?
I know him very well. I've been on the boxing Scotland team with him years ago, sparred many rounds with him. I'm expecting a tough fight. He's a good fighter, smart fighter, and he can dig in and give it a go if he needs to fight as well, which is, it's similar to myself. I feel like we're here and we're fighting for our families, we're fighting for our futures, and may the best man win.
Obviously, I was just speaking to Josh a minute ago, and we were talking about the sort of pool of talent here. It sort of maybe gets overlooked because we don't get the big nights. How important would you say that is to have big nights up here in Scotland quite frequently?
Yeah, definitely, and I think this is the best time for it, and we're in the best sort of moment for it, with the likes of Josh still here, myself and Nathaniel coming through, and then even after us you've got all the boys that were on the top table today, Alex Arthur Jr., Drew Limond, Sam Hickey with Sky Sports as well. These are the big names and big fighters and big shows that should be coming back to Scotland more regularly, so I think this is the beginning of it, and I hope, like I say, we're going to be May. By the time this fight comes, I'd expect to see 2 or 3 more big shows in Scotland this year.
Definitely. So obviously, sort of like rebuilding, because you took the loss unfortunately against Eric Robles in the summer, I think 2 years ago now. You've had a couple of fights since then, sort of building yourself up back on the smaller shows and then getting to that big Saudi show. It's one of those things where I feel like a lot of people knew your potential, knew your talent, but you didn't really get to show it. I'd say maybe you say that's fair. Now that you're sort of are back to back in 2 big fights, how does that sort of feel for yourself? Having that, that you're going to be back into another really good fight against Nathaniel Collins. How does that sort of feel?
No, like you said there, I've been there. I've been to the top of the game. British Commonwealth, European titles, massive nights. Cash Farouk night was unbelievable. Quite similar to obviously this one in the lead up to Nathaniel, the Edinburgh, Glasgow, all the Scottish crowd anticipating a big massive fight. Then I've had like you said, the inactive spells, having to rebuild on smaller shows, and then announce myself again, rebuild like we just said, and here I am now back to back on 2 big massive occasions, and this is where I belong, and this is where I thrive. So roll on May 24th.
Definitely. So obviously, not overlooking this fight because it is a really big fight, really tough test in Nathaniel Collins. But if you were to get the win, how many times would you say you'd like to be out this year? And would you say you maybe be wanting to push on for potentially some sort of big title towards the end of the year, maybe a world title or something?
Yeah, that's definitely doable and possible. This is for a WBC silver belt, so another title to add to my achievements, another belt to add to my collection. Winning this will no doubt put me in number 1 or number 2 with the WBC. I believe Nathaniel's number 3, so beating him is going to have to put me 1 or 2, like I said, and then I'll just be waiting on my chance. If I get another, it could be summer, I get an opportunity that I can't turn down. I'm in this game for the biggest and hardest challenges, and if a world title fight was presented to me after winning this fight, of course I'm going to take it. Same goes with this fight. There was no hesitation when it was offered. It'll be the same going for the rest of my career.
Definitely. Lee, last 2 from me. I want to ask you to break down the fight between yourself and Nathaniel Collins, and then the main event between Josh and Ekow Essuman.
I think there's 2 different fights, Me and Nathaniel, we both can box. We've both got the amateur backgrounds of travelling around the world for Scotland, like I said, and we both can fight. I think there's going to be a mix of that in this fight. I do feel like I have the slightly better amateur pedigree. Although he did go to the Commonwealth Games, I feel like the level I competed at in amateurs was maybe slightly a little bit higher. I've boxed at World Elite Championships, European Elite Championships. I was boxed for GB for many years, so I think the boxing, the amateur pedigree and the boxing, I think I've got the edge there. And then I think when it comes to the fighting as well, I think I have the edge there as well. So I think that's what is going to be the difference in this fight. Just that little bit better at boxing and just that little bit better at fighting. And going on the Josh Taylor Ekow Essuman, it's going to be a hard fight for Josh. It's up at a new weight. He's going to hit Ekow with shots that he would normally be expecting guys to be going down from. Down at light welterweight. Now he's up at welterweight. Ekow's a strong man. He's going to come forward. I think Josh will be surprised when he does hit Ekow with the shots, and he is still there. But I do still feel like Josh will win convincingly. If not a late stoppage, he'll win clearly on points.
Definitely. Lee, thank you very much for your time, mate. I really appreciate it. Thank you.